And now, it's time for another Dice Tower review.
Sunrise City was a game that I really enjoyed, where you're stacking up the cities and you're building kind of out. You have a few powers that give you bonuses each round of what you'll get, and it reminded me of kind of a building game. It made this beautiful map. Now we're going to be looking at its expansion, Sunrise City Nights. Let's see how that plays. In Sunrise City Nights, you get a whole new set of contractors that you can buy, which have different powers than the regular game. You also get a set of 5 different new buildings, which are 1-space buildings as opposed to 2-space buildings, which each player will get a set of 5 of those that they can use during the game. The new powers will do things that relate to the new buildings. So what kind of new buildings are there? There's 1 building of each type. There's the 4 color buildings, the blue, the yellow, the green, and the red. There's also a purple building. When you play a red building, you look at all of the top buildings that are red on the whole board, and you're going to get points for that. Same thing for the blue building. When you play the yellow and green building, you're going to place it down and you're going to look at everything around the space. So however many greens or however many yellows are around the space, you're going to get that. For the purple building, what you're going to do is you're going to look for every 2 purples on the top, and then you're going to roll the die that many times. And if you get a purple, which is on 2 of the sides of the die, you're going to get a point for each purple you get. So all of these new powers will work for specific things, like the district attorney. During the construction phase, whenever a casino or nightclub is added, roll the fortune die. If you roll that die and you roll the active player's color, take 1 of their benchmark tokens. If you roll your own color, the active player scores a point. So all of these, the impresario, during the construction phase, whenever a casino or nightclub is added to the city, gain a point. The sheriff, at the start of the construction phase, score 1 point, then roll the fortune die and place the sheriff meeple on a matching zone or building. For the rest of the round, no nightclub, speakeasy, or casino may be built on or surrounding the sheriff meeple. So you're kind of blocking these new buildings from being made. And there's also things like the governor. The governor is a very special one. During the bidding phase, use the governor chip to nullify the bids on one zone. Return those chips to the players to reuse. At the end of the phase, roll a fortune die and award that zone to the matching player. No one receives a zone if you roll purple. So this can give someone a free zone, but it's nullified for a normal bid. And we have things like the gambler. During the construction phase, when you would receive bonus points from another player's building, score only 1 point and roll a fortune die once. If you roll another player's color, they score a point. If you roll your own color, you score one benchmark. So all of these cards will add to the game as well as the new buildings. Other than that, Sunrise City Nights plays just like Sunrise City. Well, I don't feel like this adds a lot to the game. Usually I like a little bit more to my expansions, and those single tile pieces are okay, but they're nothing special, and it's not one that I really feel that is needed for Sunrise City. Sunrise City was a very, very good game, and I really enjoyed it, but the expansion I don't think is worth it. There's not enough to it. Yes, you get a few more cards, do a few more powers, but the powers all relate to these new single building tiles, and they're kind of unnecessary, and they don't add enough to the base game to make this worthwhile. So unfortunately, I would give this an awesomeness rating of 4.
Thanks so much for watching the Dice Tower videos. Find more great videos and reviews, as well as our top-rated audio podcast at Dicetower.com. You can also find other great shows at Dicetowernetwork.com. I'm Eric Summerer, and you've been watching The Dice Tower. The Dice Tower is sponsored by Cool Stuff Inc., where you can find great games for great prices. Cool stuff in stock. Check them out at CoolStuffInc.com.